Hi everybody! 大家好! I welcome you to Jade Palace Yamingo. My name is Yaya. Treasure is subjective. Who says that it always revolves around gold and jewels? True treasures are those that you cannot live without. So, let's get started. 东北有三宝，人参、貂皮、乌拉草。Each region in China is said to have their three ancestral treasures, which have been passed down for generations. Tianjin, Guangdong, Gansu, you name it, they all have their three ancestral treasures. What are the treasures of Northeastern China? Ginseng, Mink, and Ula grass. Why these particular items? Of all the things to treasure, why are these three things so important to Northeast China? Climate. Northeast China is cold. This region, made up of three provinces, Liaoning, Jingling, and Heilongjiang, suffers from bitterly cold, harsh winters, which last from late November all the way through March. During these winter months, the temperature can range from -5 degrees Celsius, 23 degrees Fahrenheit, to -30 degrees Celsius, which is -22 degrees Fahrenheit. This is because the area is influenced by cold air from Siberia nearby. Therefore, each of the three northeastern ancestral treasures are meant to help the citizens cope and survive the long, harsh winters. Let's discuss each individual treasure to see how they correlate with the harsh weather of the Northeast. The first is ginseng, 人参. You guys have most likely heard about ginseng. The herb originated and is mainly produced in the Northeast China region. Today, it is one of the most heavily cultivated herbs in the world. There are many medicinal properties of ginseng, but in addition, it also has a warming effect. According to traditional Chinese medicine theories, ginseng can strengthen, nourish, and smooth blood circulation. It activates collaterals, qi, and blood, thus achieving the effect of keeping both cool or warm. Unfortunately, this wasn't a treasure that everybody was able to afford. In the Ming and Qing dynasties, ginseng was a very expensive medicinal material. In the Ming dynasty, a caddy of ginseng, 1.3 pounds, was the same price as buying two 50 square meter houses. The Qing dynasty was no better. In fact, the price for ginseng soared during this dynasty. Instead of a caddy, only one or two good fourth-class ginseng was the equivalent of 10 houses. That's crazy. The second is mink, 貂皮. This one might strike a nerve because, well, fur, so I'm going to quickly put this here. If you can, ethically source your fur. But even better, buy it secondhand like mine. Before I start talking about mink, there is something that I do want to elaborate on just for a little bit. 貂皮 directly translates to mink fur in English, but historically, it was most likely not mink, but sable fur. But for the remainder of the segment, I will refer to 貂皮as both mink in addition to sable fur. But anyways, mink. This one should be kind of obvious, as fur can keep you warm and keep out the cold. Mink, or more specifically sable fur, is known as the king of fur. There are two types of fur that fall under this treasure. One is mink, the other is sable. Quality of mink and sable fur is that it keeps out the cold, has strong warmth, and is non-sticky. It is the softest and most precious of all furs. Sable fur surpasses fox and mink in density of fur silkiness and is also very durable in comparison to rabbit. This is what makes sable fur such a treasure in the Northeast. Its beauty, durability, softness, and warmth. Yes, there is a difference between Sable and Mink, though both belong to the Mustelidae family, which also includes ferrets, weasels, and otters. The main difference in sable fur that makes it unique is that it is smooth in all directions. Whether you brush with or against the grain, it feels the same. If you look at my mink stole here, you will see that it is smooth when you brush to the tail. If you brush towards the head, it has a slight resistance. Much like ginseng, sable fur was one of the more luxurious ancestral items. And again, like ginseng, this wasn't something that the general public could afford. The last treasure is ula grass, ula cao. Ula grass? Wait, grass? After hearing how ginseng costing the equivalent of 10 houses and how sable and mink fur were considered the king of all furs, how can grass be even considered in the same category as the luxurious ginseng and mink? The same reason as the other two items. It helped the Northeast citizens survive the harsh winter. Citizens would stuff the grass into their shoes to prevent frostbite. The official name of ula grass is Carex meyeriana. This is a species of sedge that is native across Siberia all the way to north and central Japan. This grass prefers moist or wet soil, which means you can find it in wetlands like marshes, ponds, and stream banks. They can grow to around 50 centimeters tall. In order to prepare this grass for usage, before winter arrived, people would go to the mountains and harvest the grass. They would then dry it for storage. When the cold arrived, they would then beat the grass with a stick until it is soft. Then they would put on their shoes made of leather and stuff the grass inside. This not only made the shoes very warm, but breathable, comfortable, and can prevent frostbite. It can also prevent the growth of fungi and bacteria. So wearing ula grass shoes can also treat athlete's foot. Pop culture-wise, we see in one of Jin Yong's novel that ula cao is so magical that if you stuff some in your shoes, your feet can withstand negative 30 degrees frigid weather. But wait, with mink and ginseng being so expensive, how can ula grass be considered in the same class? But that's precisely it. Since mink and ginseng were basically catered to the rich, ula grass kept the general population dry. Everyone, both rich and poor, had access to this grass, and that is what makes ula grass just as important as the luxury items. Ula grass costed basically nothing, which made it the favorite of ordinary people. In the past, poor people would stuff their shoes with this grass to ensure that their feet were not damaged by freezing. It was basically how they survived, which makes ula grass the treasure of the poor. If anything, because this was the only item that everybody had access to, I would say that this is the most important treasure of all three. However, this item is also the most easily replaceable one due to modern technological advances. Normal shoes that we wear every day does exactly the same that this grass was so treasured for. People no longer had to stuff their shoes. What does this mean? Well, people's living standards have far been different from what they used to be, and there is no longer a need for ula grass. Instead, a new modern treasure has replaced ula grass: velvet deer antlers. Lu rong jiao, deer antler velvet. Again, that doesn't sound very normal. What is deer antler velvet? As it sounds, it is a layer of fuzz that covers the cartilage that will later develop into deer antlers. It is a very good medicinal ingredient and has similar medicinal properties as ginseng. Since ancient times, Deer antler velvet has been regarded as a superior product to nourish the body's essence, develop marrow, and warm the kidneys. It is also believed to improve your vitality and qi. Clinically, it is used to treat anemia, headache, dizziness, and prevent fatigue. Deer antler velvet is also efficient in strengthening muscles and bones, promoting blood circulation and reducing swelling. The antlers contain protein, fat, minerals, and other chemical compounds like hormones, especially female hormones. These are basically immature antlers. They're mostly cartilage, which means that they are still soft and able to be sliced. This is how they're prepared to be made for tonics. Without having to worry about freezing their feet off in the cold anymore, people tend to pay more attention to health and quality of life. Due to their powerful health benefits, as well as benefits for blood circulation, it's kind of no surprise that this item replaced the need for ula grass. Remember, when it's cold, you need to think about blood circulation. So all you have to do is remember the rhyme. 东北有什么？东北有三宝，人参、貂皮、乌拉草。Or the more modern one, 东北有三宝，人参、貂皮、鹿茸角。I have a Teespring if you like to support the channel. I have a lot of super cute designs that I'm really proud of, so please check it out if you can. Link is in the description below. So what do you guys think? Does your region or culture consider So what do you guys think? Does your region or culture have anything that you consider treasures? Leave a comment down below because I would like to know. You can also let me know what topics you'd like to see me cover in the future. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a like and subscribe to Jade Palace Yamingong. I would very much appreciate it. And until next time, 再见啦，拜拜。